Hello and welcome to the 2022 PDGA Women's Event at Bronte Creek Provincial Park. I am Jane Logan. With me
is Lisa Ashley, and
we are the Spin Sisters. So thanks to Canadian Disc Golf Productions for capturing coverage of the FA1 card for this event. Here are our handles if you want to get in touch with us on Instagram.
We'd like to say thank you to the PDGA for organizing the WGE, the Women's Global Event. Bronte Creek was the largest international women's event outside of the US with 72 registered participants.
Ooh, go us. So thanks to the PDGA for having this event and for Bronte Creek for hosting us, and to Lisa for all of her hard work during the event.
Yes.
Here's our featured card. So we have Alana C, we have Hannah, we have Allison.
Allison does disc dies. Her handle is Rad Disc Dies.
Follow
Check
her out. Yeah. And there I am.
I love it, Jane. Your expression is great.
I could not figure out what to do. Here's our starting hole.
We have hole 16. It is 242 feet, and what you're looking to do is throw your disc into that deep, dark part of this hole. So the basket is hidden in the shade. What you want to avoid is the roses on the left-hand side of the course. There is no OB, which is really nice to start on your first hole.
Very true. Yeah, some prickly spots that are nice to avoid, so try to avoid those if you can. And there's the little arrow that shows you where the basket is. Voila!
Very nice.
And so just if you wanted to see, here's a preview from the basket side to see where the disc should be coming in. So we'll start off with Hannah. She's throwing a forehand with her wave.
It's a really good forehand and a great landing spot, so it'll give you a good view into the basket.
Absolutely. Here's Amanda throwing her Thunderbird.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
That's pretty perfect.
Yeah. Skids right in. Getting some good ground play.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Allison.
That's good too.
Also
straight and smooth.
Good shot.
Yeah.
Here's my shot. Looking for some grip because it's already a little bit toasty in the morning. Didn't warm up as much as I should have. Spoiler alert. Yep. Did a little grip lock, no problem.
Since there's no OB, she's fine over there. It's a little bit tough to come out of, but
not my ideal first shot for sure. And here's Alana.
Oh,
yeah.
Knocked by that guardian tree a little bit, so.
A little high, but it looked like it would have been a great angle.
Pretty good recovery.
Yeah, upshot just goes a bit past the basket, but she should have a good look for her par. Here I am, trying to scramble out, not finding a ton, so just trying to do what I can to get out of this mess. And I do. Here's my upshot.
Perfect placement.
Just trying to get it under so I don't have to putt at least. Here's Hannah's upshot. Nice soft forehand. Yeah, it's right by the little tree in front, but should be no problem.
Looks like she's asking if she's outside the circle. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I can't remember. I think we said outside.
Alright, using her berg.
Amanda with the first birdie of the day. Well done, Amanda. Yeah, Elena just skipped a little past the basket. So this is probably, I don't know, 12 feet or so, but unfortunately just a little bit to the right of the basket. Here's Allison with her putt for par. Great job, Allison.
Nice.
Here I am with a putt for bogey.
Yeah.
We missed Elena's putt, but I think she took a four as well.
She did, yeah.
Okay.
So this is hole 17. We only have OB, the long grass, on the left side. What we did is, for the tournament, we eliminated all the long OB and OB on the right. So just staying up to the right side of the basket and you're good. It's a really pretty short hole, 217 feet. You've got some pine trees that can get in the way a little bit, but it's one of our shorter holes on the course.
So here's Amanda stepping up to the tee with her shot.
Ooh. What disc was that? That looked good.
She is throwing a verdict.
Nice. Really
Just
great shot.
A little bit past the basket, but looks great. Hannah is a sidearm player, so she's throwing a turn over here.
And she landed in the area what would be traditionally OB, but is safe for this tournament, so that's not a bad putt at all.
Yeah. And she threw a wave there. Here's Allison throwing a reactor.
It's a great disc.
Great choice.
Good pull, Alice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here I'm throwing an impulse.
Beautiful. Your grip control was great on that one. Yes.
I fixed it for this hole.
Woo! Look at that. You buzzed the basket.
I got close to the pin. Skipped a little bit past, but that's okay. And now here we have Alana.
Oh, based on the height of that, it might have gone into the OB area.
Unfortunately, she did end up going OB on that.
I can see her walking it in.
Yeah, so there she is. Got her disc back, just retrieving it from the OB.
Looks like Amanda might have had a CTP flag in her hand there. You guys, was that your CTP hole?
Yeah. Nope, I don't think it was.
Okay.
I can't remember. Looking for a par putt.
And got
beautiful.
It. What a good straddle
Fantastic
putt.
Yeah. Yeah, she crushed that putt. That was
That's
awesome.
a pretty good distance too.
Yeah,
I'd say about 45 feet for that, based on my knowledge of the course.
Here's Allison for a birdie. A little bit high. Just hit the top. Just the top.
That's still a good run.
It was a great run, yeah. Here's Hannah.
Good run.
Nice bid. A little left, but that's okay. Here I am, stepping up for my putt. Taking my time to measure it out.
Love it.
Make sure I got it.
Nice birdie. That's great.
Back on track.
Yeah.
Getting that bogey out.
That was pretty close to the circle edge.
Yeah.
Right on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, not so bad. Here's Amanda, sorry. Great job,
All right.
Amanda.
That's her too as
Second
well.
birdie.
And
Oh,
she
yeah,
is
she
putting
did get a
down the
CTP.
CTP closest to the pin flag.
Here's Hannah for her par.
Yep.
Good
She
job
makes her
by
three.
her. Nice and easy. And Allison. Yeah,
Great shot.
there we go.
That was a pretty good hole. We had 2 birdies with Amanda and Jane, and everyone else had the par.
Yeah. Pretty great.
So on hole 18, 249 feet, you really have to get through a pretty tight fairway between those 2 pines. There is no OB other than parking lot, so you have to blast past the basket. It is one of our signature holes because the basket's raised up on the wood there. As you can see from the flag, in the coverage there was no wind, and I think when we played live there was also there's
No wind here, yeah, that we can speak of. And there's just the shot. You can't really see the tunnel, but it is there. It looks pretty tight from this angle. It's kind of cool to see that, actually. Yeah. So Amanda's first off the tee. And she gets right through that tunnel. It makes it look like no problem. Hits the tree and falls, but she's pretty close to the basket. She's probably about, 60 feet or so? Something like that.
Yeah.
So I am throwing a buzz.
All right, you also made the gap.
Just
That's
trying to make
great.
it through the gap, not trying to do anything too much. Because it can get a little bit tricky if you get into those trees, which is what I normally do if I throw something faster. Here's Hannah with her sidearm. She is throwing a wave.
She's through the wave on hole 1 as well, and it looks like she nailed that one.
Yeah, she did a great shot. Here's Allison.
Oh, she only got a tip of that tree, so she is in the gap, which is one of the best places you can be after you touch those trees.
Absolutely. And Alana.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Oh. You ladies did that right.
Such powerful drives. Her drives are so great. Okay, so here's Awesome getting through the gap with a really good shot. Looks like she's really close.
Oh, nice and low, which is really great because there's a tree in the middle of the fairway that can get in the way.
Absolutely, and that's some good skip as well. I'm trying to figure out whether I should go for it or not. And I decided I would.
You did!
Oh! Rolled a little, of course, as all bids will. But it was still a good run. And Hannah doing the smart thing and laying up right to the pin.
Looked like a berg, so those are good for not running away.
Absolutely.
See if we can get a repeat of that long straddle putt from the last hole. Gorgeous
Super
flat
close.
Shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice try from Amanda. So hit the metal on the front. Oh, it was so close. It's hard to run this basket when you're too far away because the run goes so far past and then you have to make a comebacker. So let's see how Allison does. Also hits the cage.
That extra height.
Yeah, we had some close bids there.
Oh, just a touch
nice
tight.
try.
Sure.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Okay.
3. That's a good 3.
Got the 3. Nice job. Yeah, and some tap-ins.
So what we have on this hole is Hannah got a 3, Amanda got a 3, Jane got a 3, and then Alana and Allison got 4s. So with the gap with Allison, that was hard to come all the way to the basket. So we have hole 1, a 254 foot. The one area of OB we have is that left piece of long grass closer to the basket. We call it a pond at Bronte because once you go in, sometimes it can be hard to find your disc. It's just grass, but yeah, we call it a pond. There is a slope behind the basket that can be a little bit hard to putt up, but yeah.
Just try not to go in there and otherwise give her.
Exactly.
And there's the view from the basket. Alright, Amanda up first with her Thunderbird.
Beautiful, going in with that hyzer shot, following along the whole side of those trees. It's really nice.
And stopping well shy of the OB, which is great. Here I'm throwing an escape.
Nice. Yeah, it seemed the line might be a little bit wide, but the escape came back.
Yeah,
So
it's good for that. It's very dependable. Here's Hannah with her forehand, throwing the wave. Oh, it missed the catch cam, but that's okay. Here's Allison. Looking a
stay
little
out of the
high.
OB.
Fortunately, lands in the OB, or near the OB.
This is a pretty disc. What's Alana throwing?
Alana is throwing a reactor.
Oh, love the reactor. Hopefully it didn't fade too much.
Unfortunately.
It is a tough spot, that OB.
Yeah, definitely. Good shot.
Great, and she didn't go past the basket, so she'll have a good
that's
putt
right.
back.
Here's Allison after that OB drive, looking at her third.
again, staying up top, so it's a good position.
Yeah. I'm a little short. Nice bid from Amanda.
Yeah.
Also stayed up top, which is great. Here's Alana.
Oh.
Very, very close.
Yeah.
Super, super close.
And that would have been for her 3.
That's
From
right.
the OB. Jane, that's for you too.
Yeah,
That's
it was
gorgeous.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that.
Hannah with her 3.
Nice pit. Got some good tap-ins coming up for you.
Amanda also got the 3. Allison with the 4 just because of that OB, and it looks like Alana was not OB because she got a 3 right here. So that's a nice little tap in. We like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, on hole 2, we have a really tight, narrow gap. And what you're looking for is a long turnover on this one, or a straight forehand that's going to fade. Because you'll see that it'll be up on the right, just past these trees. The blackness behind there is a hill that goes down to a creek when there's a lot of water. So you do want to run it as much as you can, but also stay up top. The gap is about 7 feet past the basket. So the first challenge is to get through those trees right by the basket. They kind of close in on you a little bit. So Jane with the tee pad. Beautiful turnover.
Nice signal shot. I heard this rustling and thought that I had gone too far right, and so then I was worried that I was in the bushes on the right, which can be really hard to get out of. But luckily for me, it stayed in the middle, which is very helpful.
Ooh, that turned over a touch too much. I don't know what she was throwing, but it was still the right height for that line.
It was an archer. Here's Hannah with a trace.
Ooh, that's looking great.
Yeah. She had a great line there. You can see it checks up very within circle 1, so that's good.
And there are logs there, but it's actually not to mark OB, so she's safe, even if she had gone a few feet further.
Lena's throwing an uplink.
Looks like it might have just slipped out of her hand due to that heat, so...
just a little bit early in the trees on the left. And here's Allison. Allison's throwing her fierce. Great choice to get out of that gap. A little bit less, but totally fine. These bushes can be very tricky to get out of. They're very prickly. Unfortunately, didn't quite have the angle right, so went into the bushes on the other side. But that's okay. She's got, as you can see, she can step out from here and get back to the fairway.
Nice safe spot there.
Absolutely. And there's her
Great
shot.
run.
Perfect. Right under the basket.
That's a gorgeous disc. I like that rainbow.
Yeah, beautiful. Right? There's Amanda. Allison second. I think as a player, I'm often thinking about the drop-off.
Right.
So not thinking about making the putt, but thinking about what happens if I miss it. So, yeah.
Ooh,
Tried, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was a little bit nervous about it, so didn't quite connect.
I think this is Hannah's drive here where it landed, so that's nice.
Right, yeah, she did an amazing drive. Oh, just shy, just on the right-hand side for the putt. Just a little bit of movement.
She had a very low ceiling with that. It might have been
right.
hard to see from there, so probably got into her head a touch.
This is Amanda for par.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Nice center hit. Yeah, so that is Amanda's 3.
Here's Hannah.
Nice. I'm glad it hit that basket. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Just trying to get some grip. Got temperature.
Beautiful. So that's your 3 as well. Allison's putting for 3 right now. That's good. And the land with a little bit of early hits is putting for 5 right now. Yep. I like how she even got into her routine. She put it in her hands.
Absolutely.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
So this is hole 3. It's a little bit of blind shot from the tee pad. So 237 feet, not super deep, but very far left. There is no OB, but both to the left short and to the right, the entire side, are places you don't want to be. So you're looking for maybe a high turnover flick or a backhand, this is right hand, backhand hyzer shot with some height to avoid those trees.
Once you get onto the green, there are some trees that can get in your way, but most of the time, the tee shots where people get into trouble.
Very smooth, Jane.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's an escape again. So I got basically where I wanted with my tee shot. I'm not trying to get a birdie on that hole, just trying to go for par.
Oh, good rip. She's trying to push it out a little bit further so that it skips past some of those early trees.
She connects with one just at the very end, so but she's still up on the top. It's very makeable 3 from here.
So Hannah's going to probably do that turnover. Forehand, yes. Looking that line.
Beautiful. Makes it to the top, so that's good. So unfortunately a little right with Allison's tee shot, so she gets into that area on the right that Lisa was talking about earlier. Can be a little prickly in there as well. And unfortunately Alana also gets in on that right hand side. So we have a few sort of pitch out throws for our competitors over there.
What's so fun about Bronte is we have both raspberry bushes with thorns and buckthorns. So a variety of thorns that you have to come out of. Very smart placement,
Very
trying to get to the top of the hill.
pitch outs, yeah. Yep. So good shots by both of them to recover and get back on the fairway.
Very smooth.
Yeah, beautiful upshot. There is kind of like a little wall behind the basket there, so Allison's just by the wall there. And then it's in between the basket and the wall. So sorry, the other side of the wall.
And this is Hannah's 2. That wall makes it really nice for running some baskets. Looks like she got an unfortunate little roll there, but still within her putting range.
Absolutely, yeah. It was fun bit. It was good for her to bit. Amanda got caught up a little bit in those little leaves, so. And
Good run.
Oh, was it not? Didn't quite have the distance, so really wanted to make that putt, but didn't. Nice
That's
work for
Amanda's
Amanda.
3.
Yeah.
She's been solid so far.
Totally.
She's had 2 birdies and the rest pars, so. Beautiful.
Nice putt.
Yeah. I like that Alana does the straddle putt consistently. It's really working for her. That's it, Hannah. So that roll away didn't matter to her at all. So that was her 3 for Hannah.
That's right. So you can see Allison setting up by that wall that we were talking about before.
She may have to do a step out because that tree that's holding the wall together gets in the way, and it has a little branch that comes out. So yeah, it looks like she's stretched out.
Probably not the most comfortable position.
And those leaves, you can see her in her way.
But
Oh,
she
nice
makes it work.
putt. So that was Allison's 4, due to that little throw out initially.
Yeah.
And I missed sharing earlier that Alana had a 5. So Jean, you're going for your 3 right
3,
here?
yep.
Great.
There we go.
So hole 4 we have is pretty open. I don't think that there's any OB on this one.
No, so what we learned was the road to the
Yes.
left is OB, but
is
there's
true.
no other OB on this hole.
Yeah, there's a tight line. You can go straight at it with maybe a mid, both lefty, righty. You can go straight at it, or you can do a forehand, right hand up the straight and come in. It's a pretty short hole, 221 feet. It is guarded, though, I will say. Lots of little grabby trees and leaves.
So I'm throwing a signal here. My intent is to get it to sort of start straight and to fade.
Oh, I like it. The
toward-
turnover.
Yeah, nice little turnover shot. Kicked some stuff, but that's totally fine. I'm happy with that shot. Here's Amanda.
Did attack it.
Yeah, definitely. Tried to go straight through. Got some unfortunate tree kicks, but that's totally fine.
She might still have a clear putt luck. And Hannah
Yeah, she
is
does have
taking,
a look at birdie.
Yeah, good. Hannah's taking that forehand line up for the walking path. Beaut.
Yeah.
With that skip, she probably went past those trees. Has a good putt luck.
Allison was throwing her reactor.
That's what she did throw on 17. That's good. She has that again here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a reactor too. I have this disc. It's so beautiful.
So unfortunately, it's a little bit high, so it ends up it's kind of rising out toward the trees.
Oh, there it just came down.
Yeah, it just came down, so it's not too deep in there. So she should be able to get out from there fairly easily. And there she goes.
Nice.
Great
layup.
pitch out.
Yep.
Perfect setup for her par.
This is probably about 55 feet, I would say.
Yeah, great attempt.
She likely straddled because there might have been some low hanging and wanted to avoid maybe a higher lofty putt.
Yeah.
You're also straddling. Oh, good spot. Did you have to get around a tree?
No, I just didn't give it enough.
No.
Here's Hannah with her birdie look.
Oh, top band.
Yeah, and got a little roll away too, unfortunately, but it was a great bid. Here's Amanda.
Oh, that was
Just
her
a little
birdie.
undercommitted. It was a great effort.
Long putt for Allison's 3. Probably about 22 feet or so.
Yeah, I think so.
This is
Nice.
for Alana's 3.
Yeah.
And for Hannah's 3.
And then we have a couple of tap-ins.
For 3. So
Yeah.
it looks like you guys had a star par frame.
Yeah.
Some people are less happy with that than others, it seems. So we have hole 5. Hole 5 is a nice, short 196 foot, but it is hidden. So you're looking at a really tight turnover backhand righty or a forehand righty. So the tree right in front is a birdie blocker or the ace line bar blocker, I should say.
There is OB on the right-hand side, so you have to make sure that if you're playing anywhere near that you go over it and not through it, because it is
Right.
out of bounds.
You can see the OB in this shot. It's everything to the left of the basket.
That's
so.
right. So if you're playing that turnover, you really have to make sure that you keep it wide enough so it doesn't go into the OB.
Looks like a little bit of wind there, eh?
Yeah.
And it's the bad kind of wind that'll push your turnover disc down.
That's right. It's like you saw my shot before it happened. point. So, but at least it's straight, so that helps for me.
Oh, Amanda with that flick.
Yeah.
Great.
Amanda's throwing her Thunderbird here.
Love it. She can throw a backhand and forehand.
Totally. It was a great shot by her. Yeah, just throwing a photon here.
Okay, I don't know the photon, but it's probably pretty stable, knowing that she has got to see this flight. Look at that. You can see it stable up.
Woo! Right by
Wow.
the pin. Yeah, it's such an amazing shot.
That is
Nice to have a tap-in birdie in the tournament.
So let's go do that turnover shot.
Throwing a fierce.
But she threw a 2. Beaut. Great.
Yeah,
Skip
got some
in.
great ground play there.
She'll be under that tree with spikes, but I think she'll be able to.
On the good side of it.
Yeah. Oh, very flippy. I love it.
And got very, very close. So just curled in a little there. Brush behind the basket, but it's really close.
Oh, that
So-
tree's blocking your height.
Yeah.
This one, so
It's a low ceiling putt, so I didn't actually mean to go for that. I was just trying to pitch it up to the pin. Luckily, it worked out for me. But it is kind of sloping down a little bit here. I don't know if it's clear from the footage, but you know, if you run a putt and it's a little far, it can go past. So
that is Amanda's 2. Great birdie
Yeah.
putt, Amanda. What a
really
tricky
unfortunate
shot.
spit out from that basket.
All right.
So
that's
we're cleaning up our
Alana's
pars,
3.
except for Hannah, who
Hannah gets the birdie.
yeah just taps that one in, no problem.
And Jane with the 3. So we had the 2 birds on that hole, Hannah and Amanda. So great shots, ladies.
And 3 for everybody else.
Yeah. Hole 6, 215 feet. We have a bit of OB on this hole, if I could say that. This entire valley we're flying over right now is OB. All the long grass on the right with that little tree there is OB. And what you can't see on the left side is a road. Doesn't really much come into play unless you have a really big fade with the wind. So left really far is a road, OB. So let's see what the attack is. You can go straight at it, forehand, fade to the basket, a few different options there.
Or some turnover backhand. But it also
Yeah.
depends on the wind. The wind can wreak havoc sometimes on your disc.
It is true. Because of the valley, we find, ooh, that's a good run at it. Holding up the green flag, our spotters there.
Shout out to Ricky.
Yeah.
Here's Hannah with a forehand.
Oh, beauty line.
That was a trace. Getting right by that tree.
She was in the fairway.
I am throwing a Valkyrie.
Looks like a turnover shot.
I was trying to be a turnover shot, but I didn't quite execute. So you'll see where the drop zone is based on that. Not because I went OB, just because I threw to it. So here's Allison. Allison is throwing an essence.
Looks like she's going to throw far enough that she is past that risky OB. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and she got a favorable rollout, I think,
Yeah.
which
Out
is
to the
nice.
fairway, just hopefully.
Lana looks like that beautiful reactor.
Yeah. So
She-
a little high. So
You
the
can
wind
see.
unfortunately takes it a little bit far away from probably the intended line. So
You can see the
yeah.
drop zone, yeah.
So I'm just in front of the drop zone there. And just trying to get the disc to the pin. A little too much turnover there for my liking, but so it goes. Here's
Lana, long
Birdie
putt.
Great effort.
It seemed like
A
she
little
switched
bit.
out of her straddle putt there to get a little bit
Mhm.
extra distance.
That's right.
It's nice. Allison's got some height here.
Yeah. Getting her berg out to the
Beauty.
basket. Perfect.
As you can see in the background, we have a number of spotters there. The ones wearing the purple shirts. This hole has a lot of OB along with 7 on the next hole.
Which you'll see if you tune in for the back 9 coverage.
Ooh,
Great putt.
Yeah,
Nice
that's right.
comebacker for a par.
This is the end of our 9, is it not?
Yeah. Here's Amanda. Birdie look, it doesn't quite connect. Just hits the cage there.
I wonder if that tailwind just
could have
took some of
pushed
that out.
it down.
This is for the 2.
Nice
Very
birdie.
nice, Hannah.
Excellent work.
And cleaning up the 3 here. Yeah. Bag on.
Yeah. All right.
So at the end of our 9, looks like we have Hannah at -1, Amanda at even, Allison at 4, Jane at -1, and I didn't quite catch the last person, so Allison, we'll see in a sec, I think. Some nice overhead shoes. Oh, Alana with the 5. So Jane, you and Hannah up at the top. That's nice. It's
Not so bad.
And Amanda very close.
So thanks so much for tuning in to the front round coverage. We hope we'll stick around for the back 9 of round 1. And see you then.
Bye.